And all right, so I'm gonna start speaking test two. Firstly, let me send it to my channel. Let me see that my voice is clear enough. All right, what can I say? I think it's normal. So let's start then speaking test. I'll show you how I do. I think if you watched my other live stream videos, you may have some information about it. Okay. Mm, you open a chat with ChatGPT, you chat and use, okay, I tell you, okay. Well, right now I'm gonna send you some IELTS speaking questions and I want you to be my examiner and ask me questions. I want to have a mock test.
Of course, I'm ready to step into the examiner role. When you're set, just let me know which part we're starting with, part one, part two, or part three, and we'll dive right in. I'm ready to step into the examiner role. All right, I'm in examiner mode now. Let's start with part one. I'll ask you a few questions about familiar topics. Are you ready?
Just a second. No, I will send you the same copies of image.
Take your time, no rush at all. Once you've got your questions ready, just let me know, and we'll go through them step by step.
You guys, we're gonna need a clock too to give time limit in part two.
Absolutely. For part two, I'll give you a cue card topic, then you'll have 1 minute to prepare. After that, you'll speak for up to 2 minutes. Whenever you're ready with your topic, we'll handle it just like the real exam.
Okay, right now I will tell you what to do. Right now I'm gonna send you the all part one, part two, part three questions. What you have to do is listening to me, and I want you assess my question score, and at the end I want you to give me overall band score. And don't forget that I want you to have for yourself the band score for my each questions. You don't have to give them directly after each question, but at the end, when you give me overall score, I may ask you about each my answers score. I think you get what I mean.
I've got you. So go ahead and answer each part when you're ready, and I'll listen carefully. I'll keep track of scores in my head for each. Perfect. I've seen all your questions. Now you can go ahead and answer each part one, part two, and part three in your own time. I'll listen carefully to everything,
Listen,
mentally score each
listen.
response, and once
I want you ask them one by one as an examiner. Right now, you should act as if you are my examiner and I answer these questions like it's in a real exam.
understood, let's begin with part one. First question: what do you usually do during a break?
Well, it depends on what kind of break. If it's during my work time, I may just go out and enjoy the nature and fresh air. If it's about my studies, I may take my phone and just watch something to distract myself, to relieve the pressure that I have. Or if it's about kind of physical work, of course, I'm gonna sit and relax.
Thank you. Now, what do you like to do during a break?
What do you mean? I didn't get the full meaning of the question.
No worries, I'll clarify. I mean, what's something you personally enjoy doing when you have a break? It could be a hobby, a favorite activity, something you look forward to.
Maybe just walking can be my favorite activity because when we walk, we can somehow think about our problems, our issues. We may find even some solutions to them, and we may forget about our work. Instead, we may think about something else.
That's great. Now, how often do you take a break?
Um, okay, let me think. If it's about my work, I have breaks every 90 minutes. If I am studying, I try to take kind of fewer breaks because it may interrupt my study process.
Thank you. Now, do you take a nap when you have a rest?
I really enjoy taking naps. However, sometimes I don't have the chance to do so, but I try maybe once a week when I have free time and during my lessons. I mean that between my lessons, I live near my working place. I may go home and take a nap.
I see. And how do you feel after taking a nap?
Well, I feel, of course, refreshed and full of energy because somehow taking nap boosts my mood, and at the same time, somehow I relieve all my pain, all my tension in my body, both physical and mental.
Thank you for sharing that. Now, let's move on to a new topic. Have you ever talked with someone you don't know in public places?
It's really a rare situation for me, but I think I did, if I'm not mistaken. Once when I was in subway, I talked to one elderly person. He asked me the direction. I remember only this moment.
That's interesting. Now, do you wear headphones in public places?
I try because I want to use every second of mine. I want to be time efficient person. So that's why I try to wear in the headphones in public places. However, if I feel that it's inappropriate to wear headphones because people are looking at me strangely or somehow I am causing some kind of discomfort, I may take them off.
Thank you for sharing that. Now we'll move on to part two. I'll give you a topic and you'll have 1 minute to prepare. Are you ready for the cue card?
Yes, I'm ready.
All right. Describe a time you waited for something special. You should say what you were waiting for, how you felt, what you did while waiting, and why you waited for it. You have 1 minute to prepare. Take your time.
Well, I'm ready to talk.
Perfect. Now you can begin. Describe that time you waited for something special. I'll listen carefully.
Right now I'm going to describe the time that I waited. Actually, I had to wait for some special event. The event was the announcement of my exam results to university. It happened around 10 years ago in 2016. It was my third attempt to apply for the university. At that time, we had special yearly exams for universities, and it only happened on one day a year, 1st of August. Right now, it has changed actually, but it was really important for our generation because it's once a year chance for you, and after taking the test, you had to wait for more than 10 days till your exam results were announced. And after taking the test, I also had to wait as other people. And if I talk about how I spent this time, first 5 days I took a trip with my friends to the mountains. We enjoy it. We had a party. We relaxed it. Somehow it was a great time after a year of preparation because we prepared really hard for this test. However, the other 5 days were really challenging. Time was really slow. Somehow I'm feeling at the same time excited and terrified because the exam results and the wouldn't be as I expected. However, it was not my choice. I had to wait it, and finally they came out and they were better than I expected. I got accepted into university. Me and all my family members were over the moon, and it was a really great moment in my life. So my time's up actually.
Thank you for sharing that experience. Now let's move to part three. Compared to the past, do you think people are more patient now?
I think no. On the contrary, our generation, not I can't say our generation, young generation are less patient compared to old generations. There are several reasons for this. First of all, the advances in technology. As we know right now, everything easy to do. Yeah, we can do everything in very short periods of time. Everything should be instantly done for young generation as they are growing up with such kind of speed. I mean that everything is happening very fast for them. However, I mean in the past it wasn't like this. You had to wait a lot of things. For example, if you want to even talk to your friends, I'm not talking about my period. I mean that, for example, in my parents' period, they told us about how they had to wait for days to kind of talk to their friends or family members who moved to another country, as internet wasn't available, as mobile phones weren't available at the time.
That's a thoughtful perspective. Now, what are the positive and negative effects of waiting on society?
All right. Could you clarify the question? Honestly, I didn't get the main point here.
Of course, I'm asking how does waiting impact society in good ways and bad ways? For example, does waiting teach patience or does it cause problems? You can talk about both sides.
I think waiting has more positive uh, effects on society because the members of society learn how to be patient. They, and I think, will be more, I don't know, tolerant towards each other. And maybe if they have to wait for things, they may have more kind of communication. They will be better connected. For example, imagine waiting for a line for several hours. During this time, just to kill the time, you may have a conversation with the person standing next to you. As a result, you may have information about this person, you may share stories, and you may have at least some kind of connection. And over years, it may build up something more positive, and as a society, people may feel more sympathetic towards each other.
Thank you for that. Now, where do children learn to be patient? At home or at school?
Of course, it should start from home because the early period of our life starts at home. However, school also has a crucial role in fostering patience in children because as parents are getting really busy nowadays with their own work, their own studies, mostly children's upbringing is up to their teachers. So I think the combination would be the best solution here if both parents and teachers can hold themselves responsible for uh, the growing patience in children. I think it would be better for both individuals and society.
That makes sense. Let's continue. Why do you think some people are unwilling to wait?
I don't know, maybe there are several reasons. First of all, it may be something natural, it may be their character. They may be born like this, that somehow they have uh, impatient um, behavior, or it may be because of their environment. Maybe they are really addicted to something, especially for example, social media, or I don't know, the kind of Instagram reels, which makes their character more um, kind of tight, and they have to kind of how to say they mostly they have very short kind of attention span because of the social media and new technologies, and because of it they become someone who doesn't want to wait.
Thank you for that answer. Now, what are some daily experiences people have to wait for?
Well, first of all, I think it's lines in supermarket or in hospitals. For example, in my country, lines for hospitals are main problem. I can't say problem, it's kind of it happens a lot. And the second thing may be, I don't know what it can be. Maybe waiting for exam results, as I mentioned. For example, even if you take IELTS also, you have to wait 2 to 5 days, if I'm not mistaken, and or you have to wait for especially something really challenging nowadays. It's waiting for seeing your results in some fields. For example, if you're attending gym classes, it's really difficult to see your growth in a short period of time, so you have to wait for results. The same with language learning also. Most of my students complain about seeing no progress in their studies in a short period of time. So I think that's the cases that we can see nowadays.
That's very insightful. Lastly, who do you think behaves better when waiting? A child or an adult?
Of course, I think adults tend to be better at waiting because, as we know, children's brain are not fully formed and developed. So I think there are some areas of their brain that cannot control their behavior. So they easily break into tears, or they start to through tantrum while waiting if the things that they want kind of don't happen. In that case, we can come to conclusion that adults we are better at that this behavior.
Great, we've reached the end. I've been noting your performance. Overall, I'd give you an approximate band score of 7.5. You had detailed ideas and clear organization. If you'd like individual question scores or feedback, feel free to ask.
Yeah, I'd love to get individual score for each part one, part two, and part three, and explanation why I got this score.
Absolutely. For part one, I'd say around a band 7. You were clear but a bit repetitive, and a few ideas could be more developed. Part two, I'd give you 7.5. Your narrative was engaging with good structure, though you hesitated slightly. Part three was also about a 7.5. Your ideas were thoughtful, but a bit more precision or advanced vocabulary would push you higher. So that balance brought you to an overall strong score.
All right, thank you very much. Could you mention, let's say, grammar and vocabulary mistakes, mistakes I made during my speech, during enjoy the nature of fresh air. Enjoy nature and fresh air. What kind of break? What kind of break it is? Mm, What's something to distract myself to release the pressure that I have? Something to distract myself and relieve pressure. Take kind of fewer breaks. Take fewer. Yeah, I have this problem with kinda. How to say? I'm addicted to it. I try maybe once a week. I try to do it maybe once a week. My kind of working place, my working place. I relieve all my pain. I relieve my stress, tension in subway, on the subway. One elderly person, an elderly man or person. He asked me the direction. He asked me for direction. Yeah, he said for direction. Use every second of mine. Use every second of my time. I feel that it's not appropriate. I feel that it's not appropriate. I had to wait for it. Yeah, I myself felt that I missed the for proposition a lot. We relaxed it. We relaxed, had a rest. Time passed very slowly. It was very, time was very slow. Yeah, time passed very slowly. They came out. They were released, announced. They were released. Young generation are less patient. So young generation is less patient. Everything should be instantly done. Everything should be done instantly. Everything should be done instantly. In my parents' period, I mean, in my parents' time, yeah, wait for many things. They may communicate more. They may feel more empathetic, empathetic. Growing patience, developing patience. Their attention span becomes shorter. Throw, through, throw, tantrum. Children's brain are not fully formed, are not fully developed. I think I use R. It's problem here. Children's brains. Key problems. You use it too much, lowers your score. Kind of, somewhat, slightly, relatively. Preposition wait for, ask for, natural collocation. Time pass slowly, relieve stress, were announced, distract myself. Um, and throw, through, through, throw, through, throw. You want I can give 10 common outscore business. throw, go on, throw, throw a tantrum, throw a tantrum, throw something away, throw a party, throw light on, throw some off, throw yourself into. I, I throw myself into studies. I throw, throw that on, throw doubt on his behavior, throw doubt on his honest, throw a glance, throw a look, throw throw money at the problem, throw in. All right, sometimes students throw themselves into their studies before exams, but unexpected questions can throw them off, which may throw doubt on their preparation. Although it gave me 7.5, guys, I throw doubt on it because I throw doubt on it, or my performance throw doubt on my results. Right, right. Throw doubt on. Yes, yes, it's kind of, yeah, it seems like it was big. I got it. All right, all right. It really improved my mood because I got the score that I wanted now. So speaking score is speaking is 7.5 according to ChatGPT. Part one was 7. Part two was 7.5. Part three was 7.5. If I'm not mistaken, yes, was that correct? Okay, let me look through one more time. Part 1, 7, part 2, 7.5, part 3, 7.5. Guys, it's better than my typical scores that I got every day. I got 6.5, 7, 6, like this, because I do practice with ChatGPT almost every day. I do at least one practice on the way while I'm commuting to work or commuting to home from work. I have a conversation. All right. Overall, what score would it be overall? Let's see what's gonna be 8. Let me see. 9 plus 8.5 plus 7.5 plus 7.5 times 4. Yeah, it's overall 8. It's 0. Mhm. So I gotta aim at getting 9 in reading and 9 listening. And if I can perform during the exam day as I did now, and writing 7.5, speaking 7.5, it may help me to get 8.5. All right, but honestly, I can't believe that. All right, good. I think I'm gonna end right now streaming session. I'm gonna take a rest. I may have lunch or two. Then I may think about doing other practice.